Just take a moment here, feeling the back of the skull, the shoulder blades, the sacrum. And let's take a few 360 breaths before we lift up into bridge. And I just want you to notice what you feel as you inhale and exhale. So do you feel anything lift away from the mat as you inhale? We want to feel that we're expanding in all directions. So try to feel the ribs expand side to side as you breathe in. Try to feel your breath push into the back ribs. So you want to feel the back ribs stay on the mat as you breathe. And now we'll bring the block or pillow, whatever you've got, in between the knees or thighs. Give it a little hug, so just helping to engage those inner thighs. Recheck in with that triple F, and we'll keep that little squeeze on the block. Use your glutes to slowly lift up into a low bridge. So let's check the pelvis here. Feel those two pelvic points drop in. Stay low enough that you can feel your back ribs and your shoulder blades on the mat. Let's stretch out the right wrist, so right palm up, pull back with the left fingers. Getting that nice stretch across the wrist, maybe into the forearm. Switching hands, left palm up, pull back. Now keep hugging in on the block, keeping the glutes firm. Let's bring the hands to the front ribs and just hold them down or hold them in place. We're going to segmentally lower down. So try to lower down one vertebra at a time, all the way until the sacrum comes down. And then curl it back up, one vertebra at a time. And we're just keeping the ribs down so that they don't pop up as we lift into that bridge pose. We'll try this a couple times, keeping that gentle hug in on the block. Back of the neck stays long. Tailbone is reaching toward the heels. Final time, we'll lower down. And check that triple S. We can keep the block here, give it a little squeeze, and we'll interlace the hands behind the head, getting into our core work. So we'll interlace the hands, take a breath into the side of the rib cage. Exhale, hug the block, lift off the shoulder blades. It's a tiny lift, chin is slightly towards your throat. Feel your head lean back into your hands. Inhale to lower. Exhale, hug in on the block, lift off the shoulder blades, draw those pelvic points in. Let's keep the gaze right toward the belly button, turn the chest just 1 inch to the right, stay off that right shoulder blade. Come back to center, inhale and lower. Exhale, hug the block, lift up, gaze toward the belly button, turn 1 inch to the left, stay off that left shoulder blade, keep hugging the block. Back to center, inhale, lower. Exhale, lift up. Lean your head back, feel your belly button draw down. Turn 1 inch to the right, stay off that right shoulder blade. Left arm reaches across. Can you reach the left fingertip even further, protracting that left shoulder blade away from the spine? Hand back behind the head as you come to center. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift up, hug the block. Hold the belly button down, lean your head back. Rotate 1 inch to the left, stay off the shoulder blade. Right arm reaches across. Reach the fingertips even further. Hand behind the head. Inhale and lower. Let's remove the block. We'll come onto quadruped. So coming to hands and knees. We won't be using the block here. Let's find our neutral position. So shoulders over the wrist, chin toward the throat, lifting the front of the throat. Hips over the knees. In quadruped, let's hold really still and strong and do a couple of those 360 breaths here. So can we feel as we inhale, the ribs expanding front, side, and back? So we really want to feel that we're lifting the breath up into the back. Let's hold that neutral spine, unweight the left knee. Circle that left hip a couple times in both directions. If you wanted to balance the block on your sacrum, you could do that here. Really working on just moving within the hip. Switch sides. Recheck that neutral spine. Unweight the right knee. Circle that right hip. Couple times both ways. Let's lower it down. Take a couple cat-cows. If you want to give your wrists a break, you can come to fist or turn the fingers out to the side. Really feeling that movement all the way up the spine, flexing and extending. And make our way to the top of the mat. And keep going with our reset for our sun salutation 1. Let's pause here, really feeling that triple S. Ears over the shoulders, shoulders over the ribs, ribs right over the pelvis. Arms reach forward and up. Lift the shoulder blades up, reach the tailbone down. Exhale, keep that long spine all the way forward. Right foot steps back. Lower the knee and the top of the foot, we're in a low lunge. Pause here. Check that neutral spine. Let's roll the shoulders. So even a tight or stiff neck can affect our breathing. So just kind of freeing up this area around the shoulders, upper back. Feels nice. Plant your hands down for quadruped just for a moment. Tuck the toes. Exhale. Lift to down dog. Lift your hip creases up. Weight stays in the arms. Soften the knees. Take an inhale here, front, side, and back. Exhale, lower the knees to quadruped. Untuck the toes, right foot steps forward. We're in a low lunge. Lift up, check that triple S. Left glute is firm. Let's roll the shoulders. Try to focus on that 360 breath all around the ribs. Hands come forward to a block. Let's step the left foot forward to meet the right. Bend knee forward, fold. Push into the feet, arms reach forward and up. Shoulder blades glide up. Exhale, hinge, spine stays long. Left foot steps back. Lower the knee, but not the toes. So toes are gonna stay tucked under this time. Again, we'll give that left glute a little squeeze. You're gonna hook your thumbs and just lift the arms up as high as it feels good. Don't force them up overhead if that means popping the ribs forward. So keep the ribs in and just feel this upward lift. We're gonna do the tiniest little shimmy side to side on the ribs. So getting this tiny little side bending feeling, but holding really steady in the pelvis. Hands come down, quadruped for a moment. Tuck the toes, exhale, lift, down dog. Keep the core nice and strong. Breath in. Exhale, lower the quadruped. Left foot steps through this time, right toes stay tucked. Find that same neutral spot in your low lunge. Give that right glute a little squeeze. Hook your thumbs. Arms come up. Now feel the shoulder blades lift up. Feel the rib cage lift up. We want to feel like the sides of our body are getting longer. So keep lifting up, add that little shimmy. So it's just a tiny little side bend around the ribs. Again, we're freeing up the muscles and the fascia around the ribs so that we can breathe more fully into the back and side ribs. Hands come forward. Bend knee forward, fold. Right foot steps forward to meet the left. Push into the feet, reach those arms forward and up. Sequence 1, exhale, hinge. Spine is long. Right foot steps back. Lower the knee, not the toes. Same 90-90 lunge, checking with your pelvis. Left hand to the sacrum, right arm up. Let's make a fist with that right hand and reach your right fist up as the tailbone reaches down. So we're trying to grow even longer on the right side of the body, keeping those ribs from popping forward. Notice what you feel in the front of that right hip. Hands come down, three-legged quadruped. Left leg extends back. Let's find that neutral spine here. Make sure we're not dropping the belly by arching the low back. Tiny push-ups. Your elbows are going to bend straight back. Don't let the ribs droop down, and then straighten your arms. Tiny bend of the elbows. Straighten, draw those pelvic points in. One more tiny bend at the elbows. Straight. Now we'll bend the knee. You can lower it down as much as you want. Let's circle that right hip here. So a couple circles in both directions. Hold that neutral pelvis like you're balancing your block there. Left foot is going to step forward. We'll turn to the right side of the mat. So we're lifting up, turning to the right. Goddess squat. Heels in, toes out. Hips externally rotate. Find that neutral. Let's hook the thumbs like we did in our low lunge and just lift those arms up here. Feel that upward lift, like everything is trying to lift up. Rib cage lifts up, shoulder blades, armpits, everything's reaching up. Good, straighten your legs, step it forward. So back to the front of the mat, second side, arms up. Inhale. Exhale, hinge, spine stays long. Left foot steps back, lower the knee, keep the toes tucked under. Low lunge, pause here. Ears over the shoulders, over the ribs, over the pelvis. Right hand to the sacrum, left arm up. Make a fist with that left hand. Reach everything on that left side up. So we're trying to get taller here on this left side without spilling the ribs. Tailbone is reaching down. Keep lifting that left arm up. Three-legged quadruped, hands down. Right leg extends back. Now feel those two pelvic points draw in, lift the ribs, tiny push-ups, elbows bend back, try not to drop the shoulders forward. Straighten, which means shoulder blades stay neutral, tiny elbow bend, draw the pelvic points in, straighten, one more tiny elbow bend, straighten, bend that right knee, lower it down, however much feels good as we circle this right hip. So we're in a three-legged quadruped, we're just circling our right hip, holding everything else as still as we can. Right foot will step forward. We're going to rise up, lift and turn to the left, facing the side of the mat. Find that squat. Externally rotate the hips to your comfortable amount. Check that that pelvic bowl is upright, not spilling forward. So zipper that pubic bone up. Hook your thumbs. Lift the arms without popping the ribs. So hold those ribs in. Lift the shoulder blades, lift the ribs, lift the sides of your waist up. But tailbone continues to reach down. Straighten your legs, step it back to the top of the mat. Let's do our round of sun salutation A. Inhale the arms forward and up. Shoulder blades glide up. Exhale, hinge, plant the hands, quadruped. Find your neutral here. Lift the front of the throat. Don't let the ears drop below the shoulders. Tuck the toes. Exhale, hover the knees, hovering quadruped. Without rounding the back or spreading the shoulder blades. Continue to lift those hip creases up, up, up for down dog. Weight stays in the hands. You can always walk the feet in more. Let's pedal the feet out in down dog. Stretching into the calves. Breathing here. Can you feel that full expansive inhale into the sides and back ribs? Bend the knees, walk it forward, bent knee, forward folds. Push down into your feet, rise up. Shoulder blades lift. Second sequence, hands come down. Let's step the right foot back. We're in a crescent lunge. Right hand to the belly, left hand to the sacrum. Squeeze those hands in, keeping that pelvic bowl upright. Now we want to feel like we have that broom behind our back. Turn to the right, facing the side of the mat. We'll do one side lunge to the right. Right hip crease moves back. Now rise up, step back to the front of the mat. So feet step together, flex your right hip. Any amount, right thigh floats. Step it down. Now we're turning to the left. Left side of the mat, side lunge left. Hold that pelvic bowl upright. Rise up, step it back to the front of your mat. Pick up the left foot, so we're flexing that left hip, holding strong in the right glute. Step it down. Turn to the right again. Side lunge right. Rise up, step it forward one more time. Flex that right hip, Step it down. We're gonna side lunge to the left and hold here. Take a couple alternating side lunges. So now we're going right and left, but we're just staying facing the left side of the mat. Turn to the back of the mat, plant your right hand down. We're heading to modified side plank. Right knee slides in, left foot steps back. Drag that right shoulder blade down the back. Left arm can come up, or it can come up and over like you're making a side bend here, arcing the ribs up and over toward the right. Nice little opening for the intercostal muscles between the ribs. Plant the hands, quadruped. We're gonna come to down dog, so we're facing the back of the mat. And we'll start the second side, facing the back of the mat. Let's walk the feet forward. Big bend in the knees, bend knee forward, fold. Push into your feet, rise up. Inhale. Lower the hands, left foot steps back. So we're in our high lunge here. Right foot is forward, left foot is back. Let's bring left hand to the belly, right hand to the sacrum. Squeeze those hands in. So we're really just holding that neutral pelvis in our crescent lunge. Let's turn to the left. We're facing the side of the mat. One side lunge left. Step it back to the back of the mat. Flex the left hip. Pick up the left foot. Hold steady in that right hip. Step it down. Now step the right foot. We're facing the side of the mat. One side lunge to the right. Rise up. Step it back to the front of the mat. Flex that right hip. Hold the pelvis steady. Side lunge. Step the left foot back. One side lunge left. Turn it back to the front. Flex the left hip. This time we're going to side lunge to the right and hold. So again, we're facing the side of the mat. Let's alternate now. Right and left. Couple times, holding that nice neutral pelvis, neutral spine. Turn to the front of the mat. Left hand plants, modified side plank. Left knee slides in. Right foot steps back. Right arm can come up, or you can reach it up and over like we're trying to get this side bendy feeling in the right side body. Really pushing into that left hand, securing that left shoulder blade onto the back of the ribs. Good, quadruped. Tuck the toes, down dog, or if you'd like, take a child's pose for a couple breaths. Wherever you end up, let's focus on the ribs. Can you feel inhale, sides of the ribs, back of the ribs? Exhale, ribs contract back in. So we're working on freeing up the muscles around the rib cage. Let's walk it forward, bend knee, forward fold. Pushing down into your feet, arms reach forward and up. Third sequence, starting the same way in a crescent lunge. Right foot steps back. Check in. You can have the hands at the pelvis. Let's check. Ears over the shoulders, shoulders over the ribs, ribs right over the pelvis. We'll tilt it forward so our left hip moves back. Torso comes forward toward the left thigh. Lift the belly away from that left thigh so we're not arching the back here. Tailbone is long. You could also do right hand on the left thigh or right hand to the inner left knee. Let's see if we can float that right leg up into a bendy airplane. You could also stay where we were. Really working the stability of this left side. Now we're going to step the right foot back and turn to the side of the mat. We're in our squat again, heels in, toes out. Find that neutral. Let's roll the shoulders. You could do it with the arms dangling, or you could do hands on the shoulders or head of the humerus. Working those scapula, getting that full circle. Now arms come out. Side bend to the right. Right arm down, left arm up and over. Breathe into the left side of the ribs. Back to center. Side bend to the left. Right arm up and over. Back to center. Let's come into a warrior two from here. So left toes turn in, Right toes turn out, bend that right knee. We're in warrior two. Arms reach out. Reverse it. Same thing, we're getting that nice side bending feeling on the right side of the torso. Warrior two. Variation. Reach it forward, getting that nice opening for the left side of the torso. We're going to turn to the back of the mat. Lower that left knee down. We're in a 90-90 lunge here. Find that neutral. This time we're going to tilt it forward, lowering that left hand downward to your block, coming into a modified twisted crescent. Right hip crease moves back, sides of the waist are long. Right arm can reach up. So we're turning just in the thoracic spine, mid and low, mid and upper back. You can let the left ear release to the shoulder. See if it feels okay or good to reach this right arm forward toward the front of the mat. So now we're getting a bigger pull along the right side of the low back, right side body. Backstroke that right arm, hands plant. Let's pause in quadruped on the way to lift up for down dog. From down dog, let's walk it forward. Bend knee forward fold. So again, we're facing the back of the mat. Let's reach those arms forward and up. Lower the hands, step your left foot back. So we're in that high lunge again. Hands can come to the pelvis, maybe that triple S. Keep the spine long, tilt it forward. So right hip crease moves back, torso comes toward that right thigh. Lift the belly. Maybe left hand comes to the inner right knee or to that right thigh like a buttress. Tailbone is reaching toward that left heel. Stay here, or maybe load that right foot, unweight the left toes, bend knee, airplane. Zipper that pubic bone up. As we step or bring that left foot back to the mat, we'll turn to the left, facing the side of the mat for that squat. Hips externally rotated, roll the shoulders with the arms dangling, or hands come to the head of the arm bones or the top of the shoulders, rolling back. Arms come out, side bend to the left. Right arm up and over, breathe into the right side body. Back to center, side bend to the right, left arm up and over. Breathe in between each rib there, getting the intercostal muscles a little stretch. Back to center, let's straighten. Turn those right toes in, bend the left knee, we're in warrior two. Arms out, reverse it, hold strong in the legs. Warrior two, variation, nice side bend toward that front leg. Turn to the front of the mat, right knee lowers down, we're in that 90-90 lunge. Lift up for a moment, check that neutral, heading to our twist. Right hand can come under the right shoulder or to a block. Really secure that right shoulder. Left hip crease moves back, returning from the chest. Let the neck release. Left arm can float up, or for that bigger pull, maybe we reach the left arm forward. Kind of breathing into that left lower back or left lower quadrant. That's where our QL is. If that's tight, that affects how deep we can inhale. Good, let's backstroke. Quadruped, either down dog or child's pose. Wherever you end up, let's take a couple breaths. Feeling that 360 inhale, front, side, and back, all the way around the rib cage. Let's make our way forward, back to the front of the mat. Push down into the feet, reach those arms forward and up. We're starting the stream where we combine everything. Exhale, hinge, keep that long spine. Right foot steps back, lower the right knee, but not the toes. We're in low lunge. Reach your left arm down, reach your right arm up. Now reach in opposite direction. So that right arm is trying to lift, left arm is trying to reach down toward the ground. So we're getting this nice pull on the right side of the body, maybe right side of the hip, right side of the torso. You can bring it a little bit more into a side bend if that feels good to help open up the right side of the ribs, right side of the torso. Bring it back up. Right hand comes under the right shoulder or to a block. Twisted crescent. We just did this with the knee down, so you can stick with this same position or lift that right knee up. Keep sending that left hip back. Let the neck release or gaze down, but we don't need to turn the chin all the way up. So just let the neck release. We're getting that same opening for that left side. Maybe you try reaching that left arm forward like we did in the version with the knee down. Let's lift up, lifting away from that left leg. Turn to the side of the mat. We're in that same squat here. Toes turned out to your comfortable amount. Reach those arms out. Let's do our rib shift. So we're trying to move just our rib cage side to side without the hips and the pelvis going side to side. So it's this tiny little lateral movement, moving the whole rib cage right and left. Really think about drawing those pelvic points in. We're going to turn to the front of the mat into a bent knee airplane. So load that left foot, right hand can come to the thigh or inner knee. Float that right leg off the ground. Lift the belly away from that left thigh. Lift the front of the throat. Really working that left hip and glute. Now step the right foot down next to the left. Rise up. Let's pick up that left foot. Can we try to circle the hip here? Both directions without anything in the left hip changing. So really working that pelvic stability. Step your right foot open into a warrior two. Reverse it. Breathe into the left side of the ribs. Warrior two. Variation. Breathe into the right side of the ribs. Warrior two. Now turn all the way to the side of the mat. One side lunge to the right. Rise up, step the right foot forward. Flex the right hip. Hold the spine still. Step it down. Left foot steps out to the left. Side lunge. So we're back to those alternating side lunges. Step it forward. Flex the left hip when you get there. Step the right foot. This time we're going to hold our side lunge to the right. So we're facing right side of the mat. Hands can come to the thighs, whatever feels good, sitting back into that right hip. Drawing those pelvic points in, getting a nice pull on that left inner thigh. Rise up. We're going to step it right to the front of the mat for the second side of the stream. Inhale, arms reach up, shoulder blades glide up, get that length in the side body. Exhale, hinge. Left foot steps back. Lower the left knee, but not the toes. Lift into our 90-90 lunge. Firm that left glute. Now right arm reaches down, left arm reaches up. Lift everything on the left side up. Reach those right fingers down. So we're really getting a pull on the front of the left hip, maybe all the way up into the side of the torso. Keep that tailbone reaching down. Don't let the ribs pop forward. Heading into that twisted crescent, left hand can come down or to a block, shoulder over the wrist. Right arm out, turn the chest. Lengthen the spine, let the ear release. Stay here or lift the left knee. Stay here or maybe right arm reaches forward toward the front of the mat. Keep sending that right hip toward the back of the mat. But we're going to lift up away from that right thigh, turn to the left, externally rotate the hips. We're in our squat, ribs stacked right over the pelvis. Now think about those pelvic points drawing in. Arms come out for those rib shifts or rib slides, left and right. It kind of looks like a nice little jazz move side to side, but hold the pelvis really steady. So we're trying not to move down below. So it takes a good amount of core to feel this nice lateral movement of the thoracic spine. Let's turn it back to the front. Stay on that right leg. We're in that bent knee airplane, left hand to the thigh or inner right knee. Load the right foot, float the left toes. Lift the ribs. Make sure the ears aren't dropping below the shoulders. Working that right hip. Step that left foot down next to the right. Rise up. Let's pick up the left foot. Circle the hip. Both directions. Try not to move anything else. Step that left foot open. Warrior two. Reverse it. Breathe into the right side of the ribs. Warrior two. Variation. We're getting that space between each rib, getting a little stretch through the intercostals. And then stay facing the side of the mat. Let's side lunge left. Rise up, step to the front of the mat. Flex that left hip, pick up the left foot, hold that right glute strong. Step it down, step your right foot back, turn to the side of the mat. One side lunge right. Step it back to the front. Flex the right hip. Step the left foot back, turn to the left. Let's hold our side lunge left. Find that triple S. Can you breathe into the side ribs and the back ribs? Good, let's turn back to the front. We'll plant the hands down. Quadruped. And this time, let's do some nice swivels to help open up the side body a little bit more. So we'll swivel the feet over to the right, knees to the left. Push into the hands, round your back like a big cat, part of cat-cow. Let the neck release, spread the shoulder blades apart, and then switch. Swivel the feet to the left, knees to the right, round your back. Get as much space and stretch as you can here. Let's do that one more time. Knees left, feet right. Round the back, really picture breathing into the back and the side ribs. Last time, swivel the other way, round the back. Release the neck. Breathe into that right side of the lower back. Let's come into a seated position. You can always sit on a block. We'll take a little seated side stretch here. So we'll bring the right arm up. Reach everything on that right side up. Left hand can stay on your lap or to the ground. And we'll do that nice little side bend. Let the left ear release to the shoulder. You can put your hands on the right side of the ribs if that's okay. And try to breathe right into your hands. So sending your breath into that right side of the rib, getting that lateral expansion. And switch, come up, left arm up. Lift everything, shoulder blades, side of the rib. We're lifting from the side of the pelvis, side bend it over, let the neck release. Check if those ribs aren't popping forward. Can you send your breath into the left side of the torso? Come back up, let's close the eyes. Hands can come and rest on your legs, or you can keep the hands around the ribs. Let's take one more full 360 inhale, front, side, and back. Feel all of that space we helped create. And as you exhale it out, feel those ribs just naturally come back in. Sending one grateful thought out into the universe.